So I'm going to run these concurrent because my camera keeps cutting off. So let me just break these down for you quickly. So the first thing I said was you're working with an underserved population. So when it comes to like substance abuse, working with sex offenders or child abusers or anything like that, most people in general, and even counselors, just choose not to work in that field or that area because it's challenging. So, or they're biased or whatever, your values don't allow you to do it or whatever the case may be. So when it comes to that, when it comes to those populations, the people who run those type of programs, they're looking for qualified professionals to service those clients, right? And so if you have a heart toward people who society has shunned or they're considered an underserved population, then this is definitely one of those populations, prison counseling. So, if that's something that's in your heart and you choose to do that, this is definitely a great opportunity to get started with that. The second one I said was that it can be very scary because obviously you're working with convicted felons. Like, yeah, they're convicted of doing something wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look in the charts and you're like, oh, this person assaulted an officer, so they ain't scared of this officer right here. They don't care. It's what it is. So it can be very scary and you're around them all day for like 10 hours or 12 hours, however long your shift is, and you're locked up with them. So it can be very scary, but initially or eventually, over the months that pass by, you kind of get used to it and you start to get a little comfortable, which is not good because they train us in training not to get comfortable. But you realize you're really comfortable because there's inmates walking around you all day and you're just like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to do my notes. And it doesn't even bother you. You don't even really think about it. That's not really a good thing. It really isn't, because you're supposed to stay like not hypervigilant, but you want to be very aware and cautious at all times because anything could pop off and you don't want to get too comfortable. It's just not good, okay? So keep that in mind. The third one I noted was that you have to have very, very, very strict boundaries. Now, most of the time when you're working with this population, especially substance abuse, there's a lot of manipulation. The person has developed strategies to manipulate. Like that's what they're pro in. And it's just not generalizing. It's just this is research based. This is reality. And so they're going to try you too as a counselor. They're locked up. They're going to try you, see if you're going to sneak something in for you so they can make you fall in love. There are numerous of stories that verify these things. It happens. They get the best of the best. It happens. So you just have to be very, 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 very careful to not cross any boundaries. I know for me, I grew up in a small town. I grew up around in the hood, whatever. So when I would see prisoners, I'm just like this dude, like one of my brothers or something, you know what I mean? But I always have to be aware, this ain't my brother though, because I really don't know you, and I don't know what you're capable of doing, and I'm not even about to do this. So you just have to be very, very aware. Don't let your background get you sucked in. Don't let your loneliness get you sucked in. Because your husband and you're not having a good relationship or marriage, get you sucked in because this inmate is going to tell you anything you want to hear. Again, this is research based. This is not just my opinion. This is what happens. We've heard several stories. We read the research and saw the officers and get locked up for things like this. This is real. So just be aware that if you're going to work in prison, make sure your stuff is left outside those gates. You can't bring your stuff inside because you will get manipulated. The fourth one I said was you're locked up too. When those gates close, you locked up. You can't go. But for me, that reminded me every day, I'm not going out here